No, I got to lean in.
Yes. What's going on? Uh-oh. Ooh. Well, Sammy got Sammy got booted. What's the tea, Antonio? It's been so long since I've worked with you. It's so good to see you at work. How you
So
doing?
I'm doing good, Chase. How about you?
I'm all right. Good to see you. I just realized I don't think we've worked together since what? Married to Medicine?
Since married to medicine, yeah.
Jeez Louise. This feels like it's been forever. Sammy got booted. We don't know what in the low budget going on, but we're gonna figure it out. And as soon as he come back, we're gonna let him right on up. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. This is going to be somewhat of a Vanderpump Rules recap. We're gonna do things a little bit differently tonight, but we're all gonna let it loose and hang 10. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video. Thank you for everyone who's already in the group. Hey Cortez. Hey, Kyra, I think I saw. Hey, Art World. Who else do we see? Who else do we see? I'm so ready. Asia, I already liked it. This is going to be good. Well, yeah, okay. There goes Sammy. So what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to do a brief overview of the reunion. If there's anyone who wants to come up at any time during the show, I'm going to go ahead and drop the link periodically. What we're going to go ahead and do first is just give brief little tidbits about what happened each part, since there's been three parts of a megawatt reunion. And I don't know if you guys watched it uncensored, but I did, and I am literally blown away by everything that I saw. So we're gonna get right into it. Sammy, how are you?
I'm doing well now that my power back on.
Look at
Uh,
God.
oh, well, look at that. Tried to get out of work, and God said, no, no.
Yeah, he was.
Well,
He
we're glad to
was.
see you back at work.
I
We're
was
glad.
ready for this.
I know. I have opinions, and you know what, you guys? I don't know. They're not really all over the place. I'm gonna go ahead. We're just gonna go ahead and get started. So let's get started. First of all, I want to say that it was a shell shock for me to actually see Lisa Vanderpump again, because like in a reunion space, because she has not been on Beverly Hills in like 3 or 4 seasons at this point, and to me, it was kind of out of sight, out of mind. Because I'm not gonna lie, I did stop watching Vanderpump Rules with all of the scandals that happened as related to race and stuff like that. I kind of stopped watching it. So for me to see her back, I was like, oh my god, I freaking forgot that she's actually still on Bravo. So I guess it was good to see her, but I ain't really miss her ass. Um, she
I
wasn't like
mean,
a favorite of mine on Beverly
she
Hills.
really add no value to the show. She got cussed out a few
She got
times for
cussed
some of her
out.
A
statements.
few
I think
times.
that's what gagged me the most, because I'm an OG Vanderpump Rules watcher, and they used to be afraid of that lady. Like they didn't want to get fired because they would lose their spot on the show, and it looks like barely anybody works. Does Shayna still work? I'm pretty sure Shayna the only one still working at the damn restaurant.
No, I
I,
don't
I
think
really
she
don't
worked
know. I think they base a lot of their income now is, of course, I'm
The
sure on the
show,
show, but also
yeah,
their outside endorsements
yeah.
that they have. They got restaurants, and I seen motherfucking Ariana. She got a big commercial, the big razors, and all kind of shit.
And
So
she says that she's demanding 75K a pop at the very bare minimum for her sponsorship. She's making anywhere between 75K and 200K. So hey, cash out, boo. I know she's a million. If she ain't a millionaire, she's well on her
she
way.
about to be one.
oh yeah, she got to thank Tom and Rachel for that. So
And baby, that she just in time just somewhere in the corner still crying. Good Lord. What was this whole time, all that acting? Anyway, Sandoval. All right. So Andy meets with Tom and Ariana separately. And something that stood out to me is that they were in the same house, but Sandoval is in the guest room. And basically, they have people running in there. And so between the two of them, eventually this millionaire, either she's going to leave him in the house or make him get out. It's one of the two. What do you think? You think she's going to leave him in the house or make him get out?
who talking about Ariana?
Yes.
I don't think she's just gonna go away from that quiet. If anything, she's gonna be like, we can sell it and split, the profit if there's a profit. But she at this point, especially after watching the last part, she wants to stick it to Tom Sandoval any way that she can. So if she can screw him over in that process, she is definitely gonna screw his ass over.
All right. Raquel said, Ariana said that it took Raquel 48 hours after everything for her to text her that she was sorry, and Ariana, of course, cussed her out. What are some other things that I thought stood out from part one? So the timeline was interesting because Sandoval said at the reunion in the setting that him and Rachel first hooked up in August of 2022, and Ariana said that she was never suspicious and she trusted him. Um, you know, he says that they were not intimate at glamping and all of that stuff, but it basically came back that he actually said a different month. It's somewhere down here, but basically he was lying about that. Um, it just was too much. Tom says that he put on the front and felt like Ariana's gay boyfriend, and she said, "Of course he's gonna say gay best friend, excuse me, and of course he's gonna say that to do anything to cover his tracks, which he has a habit of doing." I remember back in the day when it was when it was Kristen, he had all these excuses. So here's what I'm gonna just put it point blank and the period. I don't feel bad for the bitch, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't like that the best friend did what she did. But if I'm just gonna be me and just say what I got to say for my square, it is not anything that I saw in these 3 parts of the reunion that make me feel bad for her. She's cashing out on it. I think this is honestly the best thing that ever happened to her because normally how you get them is how you leave them, but who gets them and leaves them with $1 million in the pocket? Not very many people. So I can't feel bad. I do think that Raquel, she is all over the place and she's team too much. But I don't really feel bad. And that's just me. And I'm going to let the people up because I see a lot of comments scrolling. I don't know what y'all talking about just yet. I'm going to get into it. But if I feel bad, answer no. Do y'all feel bad? Because I don't.
I feel bad given the context of everything surrounding it. I get that what she did back then, it was foul. But to me, it's a totally different. It's too many variables that make it different for me with this particular one being
It is different
age. Yeah, so it's different. I feel bad for her, but she is making out good with it. So hey, bitch, cash out.
I don't necessarily feel bad for her, but I also wouldn't say, booyah, that's what you get. I'm kind of like in between, like a little bit. It's like, oh, I feel bad, but it's like, damn, bitch, you did that to somebody in the past. I have to agree with what Chase said. How you get them is how you lose them. You know what I'm saying? She got him. She was playing like she was a good friend of Tom's. They was a great friend. He was with Kristen. They messed around. It ended up coming out. They got together. It's almost like history repeated itself. Like Tom and Rachel were, Rachel was good friends with both of them, and they messed around. He left with Rachel. It was just a bigger blow up now because it's been so many years later, and we've seen her and Tom kind of build so much together. Ariana, she was looking a little, she was looking sleepy and exhausted at the union, and so was Tom. So hopefully after this, she done got it all out. She cussed them motherfuckers out. She cussed them up Wilshire Boulevard and back down Wilshire Boulevard. So hopefully she got that off her chest and she is good. Because you seen she had like some bruises and stuff like that on her chest too. I think it's like a mosquito bite.
Probably
from that. I don't know. I wasn't looking at her breast, so I don't know.
Taping herself up, taping her boobs.
You think that's what it is?
I seen it though, but it's definitely come from that dress.
Yeah, I thought it was mosquito bites. So.
Okay, listen. Something else that stood out to me was, as we mentioned earlier, the way that they were talking to LVP on this first part of the reunion and throughout the duration. Lala called Sandavol dangerous, and Vanderpump said, that's not a word that she should be using in this context. And Lala was just like, baby, when I ask for your opinion, I give it. And Lisa Vanderpump said that she was going to give it anyway. And Lala said, well, if that's the case, I'm going to go ahead and reject it. I said, oh.
I was living. I was like.
Oh, excuse me, not Lala, Lauren, because you Lauren. No matter how much you use a black scent. Oh.
Not a black scent.
I don't like her. And that's what it is. If I'm going to just give you another my square moment, I don't like her. I ain't going to never like her. I ain't going to never see it for her. She's a nasty person. And this just gave her an excuse to be, quote unquote, justifiably nasty. She's nasty. She was already bullying the girl before that even happened. Oh, I was sniffing you out your brand. I had an inkling. You ain't know none of that shit because you was too busy sleeping with other people, men allegedly, ho. And I said ho because I don't like her. And if she want to call up here, please call up here, Lala, because I'm going to show you how a sister get down.
And see, but
You
you got
ain't
to
fucking.
remember, you have to remember why she was already bullying the girl, because she was already fucking with another one of the friends' people. So she had
And
to
she was
come.
out, but Sammy, she also was
She had it coming.
angry. She also was upset because Oliver ain't want to give her none, and Oliver gave it on to the Raquel. So let's call a spade a spade. She was also
That
jealous
is
because it was a
true.
younger,
Not only
prettier
that,
girl on the scene. Because if she wasn't, she would have never slept with the girl, man, in the first place. So come on, Lala, you get nothing from me, Lauren. You get nothing.
Laura,
and she just revealed this season that she had slept with James while
Together.
Rachel and James were together. So it was
She's just as
already some
bad.
tension there. She ain't
She
never
just
liked Rachel. I
from
do
day
agree with
one.
what Rachel said later on, whereas Lala had an issue with James giving her a little bit more attention than what he used to give to than what he used to give to Lala. He wasn't giving her as much attention when they got together. So
quiet as kept. I don't think Lala and James ever gonna stop fucking with each other. In my
Never.
I
I don't think
that
none of them are ever gonna stop.
they are one and the
fucking.
same. James and Lala, they're never
All
gonna,
of them.
they one and the
Oops. Speaking of which, one thing about that James, baby, I wish I counted how many times he got up from out of his seat because he had to be retained from attacking Tom. Because Sandoval says that Sandoval said something that triggered him. What was that? Oh, he says that they were never bros, and that really, I guess, hurt or triggered James because James said that he looked to him like a big bro, and that Sandoval's called him a little bro. And Tom called James an opportunist because he did sleep with the Kristen the Doty, to get on the show. And so James was just, being James, but he just kept getting up at these weird moments, and I felt like it was to get an attention grab to make sure people that knew he was there. And baby, no tea, no shade. This is a reunion. Normally at a reunion, I'll give you an attention grab when you're not getting enough. But this is a reunion that was so heavily focused on the scandal involved that this is a reunion that y'all could have sat down and been quiet. Like the season 9 reunion of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Kenya kept trying to get her little stuff in. It's like, girl, it really don't have nothing to do with you. Like, this is a reunion where y'all can play Cynthia and be quiet, and you'll get renewed next season because you didn't say nothing. Because this is bigger than y'all. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
He was doing too much, in my opinion.
It was given like, never mind.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm an advocate for saying it.
You think James was doing too much?
I really do.
Absolutely.
I really
And
do.
then you know what else was crazy? Andy never really raised his voice the entire time. He just was kind of like, "Can you stop? Can you stay in your seat? Stay in your fucking seat.
I just need you to stop."
He was very passive. James did a lot, but I don't know if you was my homeboy and you helped me pay for my engagement to this girl, and then when me and her break it off, you start fucking with her, I'm probably gonna have an issue with you too.
I ain't saying that he ain't had no reason to have no issue now.
Yeah, I didn't say it wasn't valid.
I'm just saying, like,
he did a lot.
They will be talking about the sandwich shop, and he'll be like, "Poopy head," and get up and run. Like, girl, sit down. What are you doing?
You worm with a mustache.
Oh, he called him a worm with a mustache. I ain't gonna lie, I get it a little bit. I was like, oh.
It was funny. It was so fifth grade name calling.
Very so stupid. Now another revelation, and you guys are gonna come up here and let me know. Chase, you should have been known this. I vividly remember Miami Girl and that whole storyline about Miami Girl, and they made it like Kristen was just this scorned ex-lover who had lost her man, lost her job, lost her friend, and she only had a Miami Girl in the world, right? And the fact that Ariana said that she actually did know, it actually was true, but she believed in a man that she was dating at the time, and she didn't feel like at the time the relationship was serious enough for her to raise issue with it, and she only wanted to see the good of him. I know y'all say that we supposed to feel bad for her. I don't like nobody gaslighting people on what they did in that moment. Back all those years back was gaslight Kristen. I'm not saying Kristen is a wonderful person. She's not. The Cooks wasn't the only one at the Vanderpump who was excited when she got fired. I rejoiced. But I don't like stuff like that. Y'all know who I am. Just say what it is, baby. I don't like all that. And I get why you want to protect your man and stay by your man, but now he want your man like that. This group is all over the place. And lastly, go ahead.
That wasn't her protecting him. That was her protecting her, because she basically, what
She
I heard.
Stupid.
No, what I heard was he did that, and I know about it, but I can't trip because I know I was doing some shit too, because we weren't really together then. So I'm gonna go ahead and just let that roll.
Why she just don't say that?
She can't. It messes
That's
up her
what you
character.
heard, Sammy.
That's what I heard. I'm just saying from
How what you got out of that?
That's what I got out of it. Mm-hmm.
Now, the only time I've rooted for Andy in the last 30 years of reunions is when he did call out the people for being a group of cheaters. James slept with Kristen. James slept with Kristen while she was with Sandavol. Ariana cheated with Sandavol while he was with Kristen. Schwartz made out with literally everyone on the cast, which is true. James and Lala had sex with one another despite them being in separate relationships. Only LVP and Katie are clean. He asks everyone, is that not
Don't forget that
hypocritical?
Kristen had fucked Jax as well while he was with her best friend.
I don't really want to.
I
don't really like talking about him or Star Theater, but you're right.
Well, I brought that up because they're talking about,
right.
oh, Kristen is back. And it's like, but hell, Kristen did the same thing that Rachel did years ago. She slept with her best friend, man.
She's still in love with Sandoval. No tea, no shade. What is it about that white fingernail polish that he might put it down on? What is going on, baby? Ain't nothing wrong with a man with a French manicure. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But what is he doing to this woman that it just is? Do y'all think Sandoval's hot? Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And was there anything else from this reunion? Now Schwartz got cussed out about the double dating with Joe. Now Schwartz, you know you've been on a double date with them people. Now I don't know if he did it or not, but it just gave very much he did it. And other than that, that was part one. James. I keep saying James. Sammy, did you have part two? Did you want to go into that?
Sure.
Or did you want to let the people up? Because here's the thing, I was going to let the people up, but I have a feeling that certain people are going to call more than once.
I don't see issue.
Okay. As long as y'all don't raise no issue. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and drop the phone number. While I'm doing that, did you guys have anything that stuck out from part one since I kind of skimmed around?
I mean, my favorite thing about it was the very beginning when Tom went to do his first act one with the tears, and James and Ariana shut that shit right on down. We ain't finna play with you. It was hilarious to me the way they jumped.
Crocodile tears.
Yeah, they wasn't here for it.
They wasn't.
I mean, every time he opened his mouth, I'm gonna say y'all ain't gonna like this neither. Y'all not gonna get no answers every time he opened his mouth. Y'all get the cussing and fussing before you can say two words. I get you upset. And I get that, Lauren like to be mean because she like to be mean and she just want to be mean. But for me, I would have wanted to hear everything he had to say. Then I would have ate his ass up.
And Katie told him that when they was getting ready to go to lunch, she was like, we got to get through some stuff. We got to hear what they have to say. She was telling them, like, y'all, I get y'all upset, but y'all got to chill out a little bit. She wanted to know what was going on.
Katie with her motherfucking Mother of the Bride dress on.
I hated that so bad.
Katie ain't never gave me nothing.
Short in the front, long on the back.
Hell, apparently she ain't gave you Schwartz none either.
Hold on.
So let me ask y'all this right quick while we somebody come on.
Well, somebody call. Go ahead though.
Oh, okay. Would shit, I forgot the question. Let them.
All right, part one. What's the tea, girlfriend? How are you? Call on you on the air. Caller.
Is your mic muted?
No, because the thing not moving, so they not talking.
Okay, caller, I'm gonna let you down for a little bit. We got another caller waiting to get on the air. Caller, are you on the air?
Yes, I am.
Hey, let me see.
Hey guys.
Hello.
I just want to start off with saying that one, they are so lame. I just want to say that, like, their insults and stuff like that, they just lame as hell. But I don't like the fact that they didn't, even though I don't agree with what Tom did, cheating and all the other stuff. I don't like that they didn't let him go into detail about how he felt about their relationship and how Ariana made him feel and like her behavior and stuff like that. And it's just like, girl, look how you behaving on the damn reunion. That's probably why he fucking cheated on your ass. Like, you probably act like this 24 fucking 7.
You gonna get cussed out, Demisio, if you was on the couch, because I know you.
But Demisio, quick thing though. But do you think that even if they would have allowed him to say his piece, that he would have been honest, because we seen after watching everything through the end last night that he was still lying about a lot of stuff that he was sitting up there. So do you felt like he would have been honest? If I know a motherfucker gonna lie, I'm gonna go ahead and chop you off at the neck as well as soon as you start talking. If I know you are a liar and you gonna lie, I ain't finna sit up here and listen to this. And I'm definitely not finna sit up here and listen to you lie on me. So yeah.
I mean, I think it's plausible that what you're saying is true, but I do think that Ariana's behavior is not just like the greatest either. So I do feel like he might have told the truth about like maybe the toxicity of their relationship and like maybe how she's trying to portray like, you know, it's just so perfect and she just cannot believe that he would do something like that when they probably were already having fucking problems in the first place. And another thing that I'm probably gonna get tore up for is Raquel is weak, honey, because I would have tore Ariana ass up on that couch because true enough,
what?
She was wrong for sleeping with Tom. I'm not negating that. But you can also banter back with somebody just even at the same time with you being wrong, because the same way that Lala and Ariana are trying to tear Raquel down about sleeping with other people's men and stuff like that, they did the same goddamn thing. They did the same thing. They are the same homewreckers that they are trying to call her. So they have
Demisio, one moment. Hold on, guys, stay on the line. Demisio, if somebody does not agree with you, and I want to.
Oh,
that's how it's supposed to go.
Can we hear me now?
We can hear you now.
I don't know what's going on with my tablet. Demisio, what is happening? Why are you hurting my feelings like this? Did you watch this show in its entirety?
No. I did, but that doesn't mean I still don't agree with them tearing her down like that as if there's some saint and they're better than her. Okay. You literally got Tom, you lost him the same way you got him. Money.
Well, let's get with this lost the same way you got him. You can't lose someone when Kristen and Tom have both admitted that they were cheating on each other back and forth the entire time that they were in a relationship, and the only reason why they were still living together was because they were too poor to move out and break their lease.
So that justifies her sleeping with him, and I've been arguing with people on the internet that has been saying the same thing. So
I've been arguing with people on the show tonight.
So because they had a toxic relationship that justifies Ariana sleeping with him, absolutely fucking not.
Okay, guys, one moment. Sammy?
No, I was going to ask Demisio, do you take into account that Ariana and Kristen didn't have any connections? So the only thing that she knew was that.
So that makes it okay too, I guess. Oh, girl, bye.
You got to let me talk. The only thing she knew was Tom was telling her that she was being done with Kristen. So that's all she knew.
Okay, sis.
Oh, wait a minute.
Hold up, Demisio.
Don't be disrespectful.
What I do?
Kyra, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, first, from what I remember, also they only kissed. If they actually slept together when Tom was quote unquote still with Kristen, Tom would have thrown Ariana's behind under the bus when this happened. He is still yet to say we actually slept together. For one, for two, Tom and Kristen were completely, totally cheating on each other back and forth. Kristen was sleeping with the best friend on the couch while Tom was in another room. So yes, I'm not gonna feel that bad if he kissed someone in the early 20s and they finally break up and Kristen's now on this tirade about how he cheated. Girl, you were cheating too.
But that cheating with the best friend doesn't matter.
Hold up, Demisio. You gotta let Kyra finish now. She let you speak.
So to me, when we're talking about early 20s, now, sir, we are in our 30s and we are 42. Tom is 42 now. We have $1 million plus homes. We are taking out a HELOC loan out on our home to help you open up a second restaurant when you don't need to, because Lisa would have helped you open up another restaurant and you only had to put 50 grand in, not a whole loan on your house. You doing all this mess. Ariana couldn't even have a cocktail book by herself without Tom losing his behind, saying how he's the better bartender and he deserves to have his own cocktail book. So her cocktail book became both of their cocktail books. So when we want to talk about her attitude, Ariana was ride or dying for Tom. Rachel couldn't even keep her little secret about how much they slept together for a year. Ariana held that Miami girl for almost a decade. So don't come on now.
I don't feel bad.
No, it was her fault. But I'm talking about saying she had an attitude towards Tom when the situation is. I would have done it, but I'm just saying when we were talking about her attitude towards Tom, when the fact is every time Tom got into a fight, if she felt he was right, she was standing up for him or telling people to back down. Sheena, her best friend, was talking to her mom saying, I don't really like her when she's with Sandavol. And Ariana walked up to Sheena and says, this is my man. And Sheena stepped back. So now we're talking about the relationship wasn't all that great and all this kind of stuff. They have ebbs and flows. But the situation is that Ariana always did stand by Tom.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
All
But
right,
what
Demisio, I'm gonna let you go ahead and I'm
okay.
gonna bring you on down. Not because I don't want to hear what you have to say, but because we have other
No, it's
people that have
fine.
been up
It's
here.
fine.
Thank you,
Really
So, but we
Demetria.
do have 2 more parts of the reunion, and I'm gonna
yes, we
let
did.
somebody else on up. Okay, so you can always call back in on the other 2 parts. All right.
Child.
Oh, who won? I think
Kyra, because
What
you
do
asked the
people say?
most shit.
Who?
who won, y'all? Tell us in the comments who won that
Who's
battle.
that lady? Classy lady. Hey, classy lady.
Hi. Are we only talking about part one?
Right
Or
now we are. Yes.
okay. Well, I basically um agree with everything with Ariana, to be honest. Raquel, I felt her and Tom are pretty much were diabolical. I mean, you're hanging out with me, you're asking me my about my sex life. We're talking about my relationship, and you're having sex with my boyfriend while you're trying to be my best friend, talking to me about him. She let them stay at her house. The woman, I mean, and he also just straight up, they just straight up lied, and then they used Tom or Schwartz as part of the lie to cover everything up. So it's like not only did they have this secret affair, it's like they stabbed her in the back,
Yeah.
like in the back and the front, you know.
Mm. Hmm.
So I think it was and it was there's more of course when you get the revelations and stuff of part three, but part one was enough for me in the sense of I think that maybe Lala might have been projecting some of her anger that from Randall onto Tom, because of they're kind of similar in the way that they were acting. Um, and of course, I believe that James was probably angry that a person that he considered to be his brother, to like, you were secretly sleeping with my ex fiance, and it's weird. Um, so I I I'm not saying that I'm crying for Ariana, but I think that the fact whatever she's getting now, she deserves it. She can have it.
Mm. All right. Final. We're gonna let y'all down. We're gonna bring you back up. We got 2 more parts to go. Thank you guys for calling in on the first part. We
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
Okay. Thank you,
Okay,
classy
thank
lady.
you.
Thank you, Kyra.
Bye.
All right. That was
That was
exhilarating.
fun.
I love a good argument. Anyway.
Hold up. I knew what I was gonna ask, and Demetria made me think about it. Had you guys been Raquel,
Hmm.
would you guys have fought back with, when you came out there, or would you have in your mind think like, okay, how am I gonna make this situation work for me since everyone hates me? Do I sit there and just kind of take it and agree with what they said and cry and apologize, or would you have been like, yeah, I fuck blah blah blah, I did it? What would you guys? How would you guys have handled that?
I wouldn't have been just straight out the gate defensive because I was at fault, and I would have let them get their stuff out. We would have had exchange, but when certain things were said, like there was, especially around was spreading out like I wish the worst, all that type of stuff, we
Oh
would have
yeah,
had that opinion because I was wrong, but bitch, come on now,
absolutely.
we gonna
You
be
don't wish no bad on me. That's
yeah.
true.
So at that point, they probably would
She
have bought the chaos
she
out
also
again.
told the girl she needs to. Never mind. I'll tell it in part 3. Go ahead.
Listen. I would have kind of chugged along a little bit, but as soon as they would have got to doing the bad wishing and Lauren would have started reading, I would have got right up, walked right over to Sandoval and kissed him dead in the mouth and dare the bitch to touch me. I'm gonna drag everybody in here. Come on, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Right.
Now, I feel like Ariana has a little bit more leeway, but that Lauren, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. You slept my man. Next.
Yeah, yeah, I would have
I don't really want
I
to
would
hear
have
nothing you
got
got
the
to say.
bag. I'm gonna take it
She
to
could have got
Ariana.
it. I don't like her. I would have smooched my man all in the mouth. I would have hit on WWE Diva little split. Remember we used to. Sam, remember we used to do that meme with Sam used to say, "This is for all the men used to come." I would have hit a sable on them hoes. Do you hear me? It would have been no way. With that being said, you guys make sure you like and subscribe to this. I'm having a lot of fun tonight. I hope that my panelists up here are having fun too. The group chat like it's got it going on. Hey, Keisha King, thank you for stepping in. Let's go ahead and get on to part 2.
All right. So we kick back up. They're still speaking about it, of course. We got Sandavol is doing some heavy deflecting with the help of LVP. So they end up kind of jumping on her, telling her she needs to back a little bit because she playing the game wrong. They was getting on Lisa. So they James again, he can't take it, so he runs off stage again. But of course he has to let Tom know you're mustache worm bitch because he just can't take Tom. So that was like his fourth, and he trolloped off this time. It was hilarious. He ran off.
A read, baby.
Yeah, so then
he ran and ran. Rita ran.
Lala and Sandoval have a little back and forth, and he makes a dig at her saying that she's a fucking moron because she snatched her IUD out when she found out Stassi was pregnant. And she didn't hear it in the moment, according to what she said on Watch What Happens Live. And I'm glad she didn't.
Whoa.
Yeah. But
because she said she would probably physically attacked him if she had.
Said I probably would have got up and attacked him. And I believe she would have, because she was
I
really,
believe her.
she was on not on something, but she was lit based on the situation.
Like James, he was lit. That's
baby. Yeah, call it what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So then they get to talking about Lala and Randall's situation, because we didn't see him, we didn't get to see the baby, and then we get to learn because he put legal papers out saying that Ocean can't be on the screen, not a picture, not a video clip, not a shadow, not nothing. He didn't want Ocean on the screen, so we didn't get to see her. But then they go up to bring on the article that the LA Times brought out about him being what they say. I wrote it down. What they say, he was running a casting couch, and he had his assistants moving stuff. Yeah, doing a lot of stuff. So Lala then goes on.
He was married.
And he was married and was lying about that. And of course, he denied the accusations from the same spokesperson as Harvey Weinstein. That was interesting to me.
That was so interesting.
But what was more interesting to me was, as they're saying these things, Lala goes on to say that she met him because one of his assistants came while she was waiting at SIR to say, "Hey, you got management. We looking for talent. We want to get you in a movie." And that's how her and I was going to call the man Harvey. That's how her and Randall. That's how her and Randall end up connected. That was interesting to me. Then she goes on to speak about how she's been sober for 4.5 years, which is, I guess, kudos to her because she used to have it real bad. Her and James. So I'm glad that she was able to keep on trucking with that. So then they break for lunch, and Sandoval goes to Raquel's trailer and he wants to kind of give her a rundown, not knowing that she's been watching everything. And he basically says, well, they're trying to make us out to be pathological liars, even though we know we're not lying. And she was like, yeah, we're not lying. But speaking of lying, when you and I were talking, you was telling me that you and Ariana weren't being intimate and watching on the screen. It kind of seemed like y'all still been getting on. Yeah, so like a light bulb is starting to come on a little bit. So, but then it goes off right after that, because then she sister says, I'm just wondering why my character's in the question. So she was smart for about a second, and then and that left quickly. Yeah. So then they have Sandoval have like a panic attack, I guess, because he wants to speak to her off camera, knowing that that's not how production works. But it gives to what everybody's been saying, that he wants to get with her and kind of coach her as to what needs to be said.
Yeah.
And I found that to be very interesting. That production was like, no, if y'all gonna be together, we're gonna film. If y'all want to talk outside of this separately, go. But as long as y'all together, we're gonna film. I found that interesting, and I wonder, because they end up panning the cameras away from them. Do y'all think they ended up letting them go talk, just the two of them?
I didn't see anything come of it, so I think they actually finally did.
Yeah, I think they did. Probably. It just ended. It just ended.
Well, the reason why I think
after he knocked over his Diet Coke,
I caught that. Question: knowing how we know how everything ends and how she ends up saying more, do you think that her sitting in that trailer talking to him and realizing, oh, well, he kind of still been lying, he was lying to me too, is kind of making her like kind of not want to betray him, but I guess want to just clear her name is the best way she can, knowing that she was being played with?
Yeah, I do.
I think
I
so
do.
too.
I felt like as she was watching everything, because we only see they get to see everything, like the whole
Everything.
unedited version of everything. I definitely think some light bulbs was going off, and Rachel was like, "Well, let me see how I'm going to be able to go in and save myself at this point without still throwing both of us, kind of under the bus." Yeah.
I want to touch on the other question when you said, did they give them the time? They probably did. And the reason why I think so is because even though they were pushing for everything to be on camera, you can't, when the storyline is so centrally focused on one person, eventually you got to give them what they want. Because he could have easily just said, you know what? I don't need this. I'm not coming back. And then what would have happened for the rest of the reunion? Crickets. So eventually, I think they gave him a couple of minutes to himself, and then the camera spit back up. I think light bulbs are going off with Raquel or with Rachel or whatever that lady name is, with Brielle Zosiak, and I think that
Not Brielle with a bob.
with a little curly Q. Um, Brielle, I think that she does want to exonerate herself as much as possible and still make sure she can get the dick. I think that was her thing. Like, I
She
ain't
definitely. So that make me think Tom, like, in that bedroom, because that girl was
got to
like,
be.
"I
Was
love
it?
him.
Is it
I'm in
more
love."
so maybe that, or because Tom and Schwartz are the only two that she really has on her side?
That's true. That's
But
that's
she
She's
true.
want to
gonna
come
leave
back.
And,
We'll
him.
see if she
damn it,
got
that may be it based on the stuff she said at the
at
end.
the
So that
end. Yep.
may actually be it for real.
She's gonna leave him. She's based off of what she said when she came out, and I know that that's part three. I honestly think that once she gets a little bit older and she realizes what love is and isn't for her, I think that coupled with these light bulbs going off, I don't think that she's going to be them. I don't think this is her forever mate. Now, if she stick with him forever, then maybe that's a college I don't
I
want to
think,
go to.
yeah.
But all right, should we let people up for two, or should we go ahead and just move right on into three and then let's move into three and then bring everybody up for the rest?
I'm with it.
That's
I'm
fine.
with it. Okay. So you guys listen. So part three was coming. That was like the main part I wanted to see, because that's when Rachel was coming out to defend her name, or so we thought. You know what I'm saying? So Rachel comes out. Sheena, who didn't really say a whole lot the whole reunion, even prior to Rachel coming out. Sheena, they got to be 100 feet apart, 100 yards apart, because of the restraining order. So they send Sheena to the trailer. Rachel enters. She got her little green two-piece on off the shoulder. She didn't sell it enough when she was walking in for me. I feel like if you've been fucking this girl, man, you done took this girl, man, them people hate you. You supposed to come in looking like revenge. You supposed to look like how Ariana looked over there, without the bruises on the chest. But you supposed to look like how Ariana look. So they start off this scene with the trip to Lake Havasu, and they're talking about how some of the girls kind of rallied around Rachel, when she had the breakdown, in the car, and they were there for her. Also, oh, Andy, he felt like they were showing her like a true sisterhood at that time, and so he wanted to kind of expound on that. Like, why didn't she feel like they were being supportive of her? Do you guys feel like in that moment they were like there for her when she was in that car and she was hyperventilating? They had the shit to drink Lala's water. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows where Lala's mouth had been in that moment? But she gave the girl the water. The girl drank the water. They said she started to feel better. How do you? And she still ended up leaving the trip just a little bit early because she didn't feel comfortable. Her and Lala ended up having some back and forth.
That what the breakdown? It started off. She was talking about her pageant stuff, or was it her and James in the relationship ending? What set that off? I can't remember the conversation they were having.
You know what? I don't remember the conversation they were having either, because they didn't show it on part three.
They just went
But
straight to her panicking.
they
I
went
do
straight
remember.
to her panicking. Andy was just saying when you had the breakdown or whatever, they were there for you, but they never said exactly what it was about.
I do remember in the car, the episode I watched when they were leaving, they were speaking about her pageantry and I think it segued into like her and James breaking up. I wonder if she was doing all that because she knew what she had going on. And it was just a conversation. You know, when you're talking to somebody, you want to say so much, but you can't say nothing. So she probably just kind of had that little. I think that's. I think
wanted to give that one couldn't.
Yeah, but she knows she couldn't because these girls being nice to me, and I know I'm over here doing some shit I ain't got no business doing, but I can't tell them. So I think it was more so something going on with that. And I also think a lot of this we see from her because if y'all watched any of the episodes this season, she started off like conducting a train. She went from manager to Schwartz to she was just going.
She was going.
She didn't really get over that situation with James in the way she should have. She jumped right back into that filming with all of them and having to see him. And now he got this whole new woman. So let me show him I don't care. I'm gonna go grab whatever piece of meat I could get and chew on it. I think she wasn't thinking. She was really just moving, trying to prove a point.
Looking for the chewing.
Yeah,
I was okay with it.
I was fine with what she was doing up until she started tagging on people who had her back. That's when it started becoming a thing for me.
And she was kind of getting Lauren together this season too.
She did. She
in
told
Lauren,
argument. Lauren said, "I would never have you around my man. She's a good thing you don't have one." I said, "Oh."
And you know, them reads be hidden, but then when all this shit come out like this, it's like, well,
it's like, damn, you was really speaking your truth. We just didn't know. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah. She was living it. She was walking it like she talked it.
Listen, was.
And that's what I told her. She said, "Shit, I was right. I was right."
She was though, no shade. She was. Right. Okay, so moving on. So Rachel is pretty much distraught when she gets out. She's very apologetic. The left side of the room, James, Lala, Ariana, they don't want to hear. They pounce on her and Sandavol every time they open their damn mouth. They get at them. Ariana went as far as to tell the girl to go fuck herself with a cheese grater. Ugh. That was like, you want her to wreck herself down there like that? Like, that's what she can't sleep with her man. You know. So moving on to the next part, they actually get into was Lala Randall's mistress. So I think that it's definitely possible that he lied to Lala and told her that he was not married, or they were not that he wasn't married, but they were separated when they actually were together. So that is possible, especially being that everyone knew that they were, that they were dating, and the FaceTimes and the trips and y'all around town and stuff like that. So that is definitely, it was given that he had lied to her. Does that exonerate her though from being a mistress?
No.
In a technical sense, she still is a mistress.
But because he lied.
But because, and it gets tricky with that too, because I get it. Because that happens a lot, where people will say they're no longer in a relationship, but they're no longer doing something, but they're still doing it.
Happened to me.
It's happened to me. But the thing is why I'm so iffy about it, because I'm a very attentive individual, and the way that Lala was piecing shit together this whole season, you can't tell me it wasn't some type of inkling to say, especially if you with him all the time, like you claim you were. Mm-hmm. You there was just either the wife was really just lying, or he was just that damn clever. But you can't tell me it wasn't something that you just didn't see to let you know that man was still messing with his wife.
One thing though, I did like when Tom was like, "Oh, but you never went to his house." It was like,
come on,
okay. That's
and my thing is, when you find out, did she stay?
Did who say?
When she found out she was the mistress, or he had a wife or whatever. How long were they together before she found out he had a wife?
It actually came out. They were talking about it when it was kind of coming out that she was dating this man, and they, they discussed it. It was seasons ago, but her and the man just broke up a couple of years ago. When
she had a baby with him after
she had a baby with the man,
and was about to
I think she had I think the baby once the wife, because she said they went to a counseling, and then the counselor kind of was just saying like, look, him and his wife be up in here too, so you getting played, and that's when she kind of started. She kind of started. The wheels started taking. The baby was already here. The baby was already here.
Yeah, the baby was already there.
That ain't what made her leave him.
It was the LA Times article, I think.
Come on, she had no choice but to leave him. But
Yeah.
she wasn't. Listen, she was gonna ride that money train till the wheels fell off. She was in proximity with celebrities before they started blasting him for being a no count.
She was pushing out
Money
I-80.
groveling. Absolutely.
You know when she
And
got up out of there, that baby was her ticket to get up out of there. So she didn't. I don't
yeah,
want to
because she
deal
knew
with
she was
some
gonna get
shit.
a check.
Let me get this baby, get so I can keep this money, and then we can go ahead and and clear the house out when he leave. That's what that was.
She knew, and I don't feel bad for her. I don't like her. Please continue,
We
Antonio. I'm
got it. We
sorry, but I
got it.
don't like her.
Um, okay. So they then began talking about Tom Schwartz, who is just so extremely awkward and is like a deer in headlights this entire reunion because he doesn't really know what to say. When he does say something, it is just so cringy that I don't want him to say nothing. I actually want him to leave and go sit in the motherfucking trailer with Sheena 100 yards away. But they talk about the kiss between him and Raquel, and the kiss was awkward. You know, she was already messing around with his best friend, and he was like, you know, hey, I thought I looked very suave and all of that. It was so stupid. I just wanted him to leave. If you're not going to add value to this conversation and you're not going to sit there and argue with these people and take up for your people, then just shut the fuck up or leave.
He's a slime ball.
That's what, yeah, very much so. Andy then goes into the whole situation with wanting to talk about James and Lala again. Because that was a big thing. Oh, they messed around while he was with Rachel at the beginning of their relationship or whatever. So James gets upset, of course, and starts doing what James does. We're going to say he was lit. So it was hard to like calm him down once he got so far up. It was hard to pull him back down to earth. So they didn't feel like it was necessary to talk about that, but Andy Cohen did, and he wanted to speak about that. Do you guys feel that it was necessary for them to discuss this, being that it was, what, 5 or 6 years old?
Absolutely. I think that in reality TV, your past is your past, but it is relevant when certain situations rehead themselves and reappear. And I understood that, like in some situations, I was 21, mate. I was 10 years ago, mate. Da, 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 mate. And it's just like, baby, you did what you did. It is what it is, okay?
What it
So
is.
the thing is, people would not mention 10 years ago if you guys went on a witch hunt 10 years later. You wanted Grace 10 years ago. And I don't remember anybody on this show being taken down as hard as Sandavol and Raquel are being taken down. I'm not saying that they don't deserve to be held accountable. I'm not saying that they don't deserve vitriol from certain members of the cast. Those certain members would be Ariana. Lala, you could be upset. James, you could be upset. But at points, it felt like, damn, y'all beating her to be mad. I don't believe it. I don't feel like it's genuine. I felt like it was an attempt to put people down because they
Mhm.
are mean and they are nasty, especially people who they did not like anyway. And I think that they're going to continue to do this until somebody puts them in place. I really am not a fan of it. I'm sorry. And, I'm going to let Sam and you guys go, but I just don't like the way that it was handled. I don't.
I had a question, but first I wanted, because you said that they getting it, Raquel and Tom are getting it harder. I will say Raquel is lucky that it was Ariana and not Stassi, because the way she popped the shit out of Kristen back
Stassi would have
then,
slapped the shit out of her. I ain't
Listen,
gonna lie.
she would have made that reunion. But question, because I meant to ask it when we were talking about part 2. They spoke about how Allie and James had just got together 6 weeks after the engagement was over with James and Raquel. Do y'all feel like he was really more so upset that Tom betrayed him, or he was still kind of feeling the way about Raquel? Because
Both.
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 Yeah.
He
That
wasn't
makes
over
sense.
Raquel. He really loved Raquel.
He
He
really loved
wasn't over
Raquel.
her.
I
He
mean,
did.
And I
Ruchella.
think that's why,
Hello.
in the sense of him doing too much, I think he's like, yes, now I really got a reason to not worry about this bitch no more. I can move on.
Yeah.
She's a slut. The world hates her.
If she
He
opened
feels
her
like
legs today, he'll slide right on in. I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. Was that gross?
I mean, it's a true. Your
Oh, and
truth.
before before you get before you before we move on and let everybody else up here, I just want to be very clear. Somebody, Asia, said that we think we was 3 angels, and then somebody, Cortez, said, "Who up there, angels?" Baby, we Snow White. We the purest of them all.
You see the motherfucking the halo.
Now what are 7 doors there?
I'm not even gonna mention how they had me sitting up here like Nene in the back when the camera first came on. And luckily my volume didn't work out San Antonio and when I was able to go run to the closet and grab something real quick. I was gonna wait till after I was gonna come at y'all in the chat, but since we here now and we talking about it now, I just want to say,
don't close your laptop so we can see your reads now.
I got them over here.
Gotta put it out. And it's so crazy because I just watched that episode of Watch What Happens Live. Well, her mom, she said, "Bring your reeds, Ken. Bring your reeds." And then she slammed that day.
She bought her reeds.
All right, wrong show.
Okay, all right.
What we're gonna do is get
back
into
on
it.
Track.
Back on track. Like I said, Lauren is old stank, ragged ass bitch. All 40 people here watching, like and subscribe. I don't like Lauren, and I don't care. Go ahead, Antonio.
So it goes into a situation where they're thinking that Tom Sandoval may have started the whole open relationship rumor, just in case if someone got a whiff of what was going on between him and Rachel, they would already think like, oh, would they have an open relationship? Mm-hmm. Swartz think it started, that whole rumor started when there was something stated that Tom and Ariana had a threesome with Billy Lee. And I know that had come up, I think a few weeks ago on Watch What Happens Live, where they brought up Billy Lee's name as well. So, I mean, listen, Tom seemed like he,
he's a free spirit.
he'll throw that thing. He don't mind. So I can believe it.
Billy Lee was so aggravated. That's why I'm busting out laughing. Like,
I can't believe that they had a threesome. I don't believe they had a threesome, but do I believe that Tom may have taken Billy Lee on down? Absolutely. Yes.
Absolutely.
Rachel reveals that, she confided in Tom and they got really close. Like she told Tom stuff that she hadn't even told her best friend, Ariana, or her best friend, Sheena, who Sheena had let the girl live with her and shit like that. So they definitely had an emotional connection, it seems like, prior to having a physical situation. She did state that, she wanted to kind of stick a toe in the Tom pond to see what it was like. I was like, okay, girl, it was like she kept mentioning she was a people pleaser and she just wanted to do something to make her happy. And I'm like, girl, so what in that moment was making you happy was you gonna go fuck your best friend boyfriend. That's the type of people pleaser that is crazy as hell.
She was pleasing people.
She's a coochie pleaser.
Was definitely pleasing somebody. Okay, so that was kind of crazy to me. It made me look like, and I know she's in like, she's been going to therapy or whatever, but I'm like, okay, I'm glad you are there because it definitely seems like you really need to be there. In that moment, it kind of, when she said those type of things, it kind of erased any possible remorse I felt like she initially had, because it almost seemed like that was your goal from the very beginning, was to screw Tom Sandoval for whatever reason. What do you guys think?
She wanted them. That pool footage of them in the hot tub or wherever they were taking, excuse me, was very much a throuple. She wanted that man. She wanted that man.
I found it very disgusting when they were speaking about her and Schwartz and the kiss, and she said, "Well, I always just wonder. So, bitch, you've been around here the whole time,
just wondering about everybody,
wondering about somebody else's man.
You had a whole fiance, but you wondered about and that's when it was just like, oh, so this is kind of like, this is just who you are. This is your character. It just kind of just seemed like.
I don't think it's her.
You just accidentally she said it. She said, I've been thinking about, I always wondered about Tom, and that was way before any of this even happened. She just happened to get caught because Tom is incompetent and not sneaky and left the footage in the phone.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It's just, I don't know, you guys. Like,
Tom was just over there. All I saw was motherfucking kind of tears or whatever and white nails from him, like the white nails. All I saw was white nails. I was so sick of them damn white nails. I don't ever want to see no white nails again. I almost didn't want to wear this damn white shirt tonight because Tom had made me just like white.
They had
this hair quite to his face.
That they no longer making the color because Tom was wearing it, like trolling him, saying
it was like camera pan, nobody. Tom Sandavol. Like, oh my God.
Only thing I saw was that mustache after Jane kept calling him out about it.
It was real thin, wasn't it?
Andy starts to get into, questioning them about like their timeline and when did it start and when were they sleeping with one another. They were saying, oh, it happened once. They denied, ever sleeping with one another in the house. They denied sleeping with the jacuzzi. They actually said they really didn't start like fucking until after filming had wrapped. And then in January, that's when they like really fell in love. They also go into situations that occurred where now looking back, everybody was like, well, damn, y'all was really kind of putting it out there in y'all own way. Like, for example, Tom Sandoval dressing up like Rachel for Halloween, and she had on a Tom Tom sweater. And Katie had called her a fangirl because she was following them around BravoCon. Or I definitely watched the episode when she was out shopping with the other young lady and she bought the necklace with the lightning bolt. Come to find out, that was like her, solidifying her, I guess, situation with Tom. Like she bought, and I'm like, well, girl, he should have bought you the motherfucking necklace. And if that's the case, like you can't go buy yourself something
Like,
like,
he
oh, I
even know
bought
you
this.
got it? Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. She was talking about, oh my God, it's $780. She didn't even want to pay for it. He probably didn't even pay that much for his child. It probably came from like
No,
Claire's.
he got nothing on him from $780. Claire. Limited to it is.
The kicker with this though comes when Andy asks, has Tom slept with anybody else other than Rachel? And the other side, they start kind of throwing shit out there. And Tom said they were lying. I believe him. And then Ariana was like, well, I tell you who he did sleep with, me. And Tom was like, he fired right back at her ass and said, yeah, while you had on a t-shirt, how romantic.
Listen.
Listen, I'm sorry.
That's how you know he didn't sleep with. No, let me not say that because I get canceled.
Listen, he gagged the fuck out of everybody with that. I was kind of, because I couldn't believe that he had said it, but let me know that Tom was really playing a role on on this reunion. He was trying to do everything he needed to do to win as much support as he could. And that comment she made about, let me tell you who he did sleep with, he just couldn't control himself and he had to fire back at her ass.
I mean, how much can you take for 12 hours?
Was that low?
It was low.
Would y'all allow it though?
It was fair.
Sammy?
Given to me, based on everything he was saying before then and then after that, no. You tried to go at that girl when you know she has body issues, and that was one of the main things we discussed, and that was your hit back when you got the girl here who you've been sleeping with. No, that's why I'm glad Ariana kept tending to his ass, especially after he made that comment.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I ain't on his team, I ain't on his side, but you talking shit, I don't know.
He really tried to he definitely gut punched her ass. Like even Andy was like, whew, like, damn, you like really went there.
And it's like, did he do it out of defense for himself or because he needed to make Raquel feel good? Because now she know that me and Ariana was fucking while I was fucking with her. Because what did she really say that was that bad other than
I don't think he was thinking about her.
I don't either. I don't think he was thinking about Rachel. I just think that
he wanted to defend himself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh, boom, you want to do it, but let's do it. I don't think someone
Schwartz
said in the
group chat.
head.
Schwartz was like, oh my God.
Man, don't say that. But that's because that business he already got that business is failing. So Schwartz God damn,
like, you might as well
get my
just
mama
go ahead
her
and
damn
lock
money
the
back.
doors.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody coming in here ordering. We barely got food in here. People already spray painting and graffiti in the bathroom. And here you go saying some dumb ass shit. You should have gone on the floor. You should even came to this thing. But listen, someone in the group said that they believe, in the group chat said they believe that he's lying, but they don't believe he's lying about everything. What do y'all think about that? You lied. So for me, the lie is the lie, and I can't believe that you
And you
said,
know
Tom.
what really drills me about Tom in this reunion? Like, I get he shouldn't be taking a lot. I get it, fight back, but it's the fact that he's sitting up there continuously lying and with such conviction, not knowing that this
Yeah.
girl finna come out and blow your ass, just blow the fucking whistle. You just sitting your ass there yelling and screaming and making it seem like they just so delusional when they on top of their shit. That type of shit, that really boils my blood. Like,
I think Tom really thought that he had pounded her box so good and so hard and so deep that she was not going to steer away from the story that they had came up with because of how good and hard and deep and long that he had actually pounded her prior to the union. So I really do feel like he thought he had this in the bag. Like this was his redemption. He was going to rise like a motherfucking phoenix from the ashes.
Well, he didn't.
he didn't
I
know
just want to say,
that beating he gave her was not nothing compared to the one they gave her when she got up on that stage. She said, "I got to go and
baby,
tell the
because
truth.
baby,
I
they
That
got to
girl
drug
had
go
to
and
her
go
ass.
tell the
and drink
truth."
her some water right quick. That girl said, she said, wait a minute. My voice started shaking. Give me a minute.
They drug her 100 feet to Shayna ass. Bitch, they played with her.
Yards.
Yards, 100 yards. Excuse me. Speaking of 100 feet, 50 feet, yards. I just want to say, make sure you guys like and subscribe. We're going to wrap up part 3. We got some people waiting in the queue to get on up here and get to arguing. Well, to
Okay.
get up here to get to giving a point. Now, y'all get up here arguing. Come on now.
Yeah.
All right.
Chase, am I gonna go ahead and talk about Raquel's final part, or are we gonna talk
Go
about
ahead
that
and get
part?
it out so we can let them on
Okay.
because we're not going
So
to be up here all night talking about these people.
okay. All right. So there were some additional questions, such as like, did the families know, that they spend Christmas together? Have they met each other's families, stuff like that. They lied and said no, they only met when the family came when they were doing something for the businesses, etc. Rachel exits. Tom then breaks down. I do see tears. Of course, I see the motherfucking white nails. And he's saying that he will always love Ariana and he will always be cheering her from afar. Ariana, with conviction in her eyes and in her heart, she said she does not forgive him and she will not be cheering for him from the side. They bring Sheena back out. They close out. They take a picture. Bam, that's it. 6 days later, there is a sit down with Rachel. I'm thinking Rachel maybe have reached out to production. She was very upset, and I feel like Rachel is going into the mode to where now she needs to save herself. She's saying that she just can't do this anymore. She kind of stands on the truth. She does not like to lie. She seemed to actually be a pretty good liar at the union, but when she was talking with that producer one-on-one, I didn't really get it. She says that she's been lying and being deceitful. She's been lying about mainly the timeline where they, kind of had sex. She felt that they went with that story because Tom felt it would be less hurtful about how many times, like, oh, if we say we only, I only pounded you down one time, it would be better than saying, I pounded you down multiple times. I pounded you down while we were all in Mexico for Sheena's wedding, multiple times. I pounded you down in the house while my wife was gone to a funeral out of town. I pounded you down that night we was at the jacuzzi. She does know that Tom is going to be very upset with her, so that's going to be interesting to see possibly that fallout. She also said that she, got to a point where she really wanted to be with Tom. I do feel like she feels like this is her situation and she wants to do whatever she can to make Tom happy. She asked him if they'd be interested in being in a throuple. She loves Ariana. She's in love with Tom. Hey, it could be a good situation for everybody. Tom shot that down and said absolutely no. It also came out that yes, she was definitely in St. Louis with him over Christmas. They took a picture. I wonder where they got that damn picture from because she had lied and said that he wasn't with her. And that was, pretty much it to wrap that up. I think Ariana wanted I'm sorry, not Ariana. Rachel wanted a clear conscience. She's going through her um, her mental stuff, and I guess she just wanted to get it all out. According to, I think it was TMZ or one of those that I saw today, she's kind of finishing up, I guess, her program, but she has more to say apparently after that. So she is probably gonna try to take this to the bank and start cashing in on some checks for her interviews, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, absolutely. I do think that they're gonna probably pause this for a little while. I don't see them starting to film in 2 months because it's like I'm sure they're gonna want Tom and Rachel and everybody back, but with the feelings and emotions being so high that how they are now, I don't see that possibly working out with filming. So they seems like they'll probably give them a few months to kind of cool down and then go back into it.
And I also think that's probably another reason why Raquel said, "Let me go ahead and tell the truth," because eventually all this shit finna come out. So let me go ahead and let me be the one to say it. So I'm not sitting at a dinner table one day and some shit started coming out.
Somebody try to bring it up.
Yeah. So she was smart about it, but it's like, okay, kudos, you want to tell the truth. It's just that she got that whole. She was still sitting there telling lies, laughing and smiling and cheesing about certain things, like lying about going to St. Louis. Still just sitting there playing a game. Like, bitch, if you gonna tell it. If not, let's get the hell up out of here. Let's quit playing with me. She just got on my damn nerves. And I do agree with this comment with Jessica. I wanted to say that earlier. Tom and Ariana, they've been kind of disconnected for a while. They've even spoke on it, like them not being sexual and all those type of things. Just end it. Just end it. Y'all ain't in your 20s no more. Y'all got the money. Just end it.
Sammy, that's a lot. That is easier to say, but these people are intertwined with businesses and motherfucking houses. So it's possible that they felt it would be easier just to try and push through their situation as opposed to just being like, you know what, we can't be together no more.
And that's why I'm glad to do so on it. When Kyra called in here and said what she said the first time, because that's why it's so much different for me now. We're not straight out of high school no more. We got business together. We got houses. My damn house.
Damn, you got businesses.
Yeah, we are grown ass 40-year-old people. You doing some bull. It's a totally different situation now. My livelihood is involved with you and your bullshit. Yeah. So it's.
All right, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and let the people on. We got a line out the door, so I do apologize.
Bring them in 2 at a time.
We're gonna bring you in. You're on a time limit. Get it on and get it on, okay? Get it on and get gone. Classy Lady's been waiting since we stopped. So, Classy Lady, thank you for your patience. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna try to go as fast as I can.
Okay.
The one thing I found interesting in part 2 was when Raquel and Tom were in the trailer. There he was saying, "Hey, they think we're pathological liars," and she's like, "Well, we only lied about the affair," which was to me like, okay, is everything over your head? Like you lied for like a year, but okay. Then I didn't understand. I don't know if you guys heard it, but like before Raquel came out, underneath Tom's breath, he kept saying green light," and then that's when Schwartz took out his little Xanax pills and so forth, and so I don't know what that meant, and so I don't know if y'all know about that at all. And I also noticed Raquel was scratching her ankle a lot, maybe a nervous tick.
She was also playing with her hands a lot too, like while she was up there.
Right. Then there was one part where it was the one-on-one or not, but it didn't really make much sense where they asked Raquel, like, why did you sleep with Tom? And she said, I wanted to see what it was like to have, sex with someone that I was in love with. But I was like, weren't you not in love with James? Is that what you're trying to say?
That's what she was
saying. She didn't love him like that.
Yeah.
Sound like to me. And how could you?
She even said she had got so far into it she couldn't stop having sex and getting taken to Pound Town by Tom Sandavol. She was in too deep.
He was in too deep.
Yeah. Let's see. I had like one or two things I have to say. First of all, I don't know why was Tom crying at all. Because
because he got caught.
what's they're crying about? What's there for you to cry about? To be quite honest, you have a new girlfriend, and what are you crying about? People don't like you, or what are you crying about? And I think it was also very telling when they went backstage and Raquel and Tom were laughing, making jokes about stuff. I think that was very cool. But I'm sorry. But lastly, today, Andy on his podcast was saying that he felt that Raquel may be feeling like Vanderpump Rules is like its own world and not real life, and that she can just do things, and that she doesn't understand that this is like she's in a bubble, and but this is real life. This isn't a game,
Yeah,
you
I can.
know. He felt that way. And also today, the producers put this Vanderpump Rules, this episode, or I'm not sure if this episode or the whole reunion, up for consideration for an Emmy. So I thought that was
Girl,
interesting.
show them the uncensored version of James calling people a poopy head.
Yes. And lastly, let's see on how we met. When y'all were talking about why did they not break up, um, because as I'm saying, Sandoval keeps lying, but because on Howie Mandel, Sandoval said that he did not want to break up with Ariana because they were a brand, and
Mm.
he didn't want to break that that brand up, and that he would have to. Basically, he would have to have a plan to exit slowly or something like that.
Mhm.
But it was not so much about
Make it worse.
we have all these things together. It was like, well,
One.
we together as a couple, we are a business. So
Mm.
anyway, so
Nobody was buying into the business, love.
yeah. So
Well,
those
that's
are
why he cried.
those are um all my thoughts, and I don't know if you have anything to say about it, but that was all I had to say.
They're
All
not
right.
getting the Emmy for James calling people poopy head. And I want to thank you for calling in. We got a line at the back door. Did you guys have anything you want to say quickly?
No,
Thank you for
thank you.
calling.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you, classy lady, and
Quiet.
thank
We
you for being
appreciate it.
so patient. That is the definition of a classy lady.
The
Thank
Yes.
you
horn on them,
guys.
Greg. Let them know.
All right. Now we're gonna go ahead and get another. Who's that lady? All right, Kyra, you know what to
Oh,
do. It's
shoot.
on you.
Oh, time limit. Y'all, why y'all do this to me? I thought this was going to open tonight. Anyway, least
Girl,
important.
Yeah, listen, it was
we
gonna be
gotta go to
open
work in the
tonight.
morning.
We gotta go to work
Yeah,
tonight,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
it's really we had three parts to get through.
I
So
know.
I
I'm
thank you for
teasing. I'm
being
teasing.
patient with us. No, well, we want to let you know what time. No, just go ahead. Go ahead.
Um, I guess least to most important, Lala and James, I needed them to shut up. I can get James a little bit because now Ariana and Sandoval did try to help out James and all that kind of stuff. So it is kind of wild for you to turn around and say, we weren't brothers. I saw you once a month and yet you're dropping 20K on my engagement? Absolutely not. No. Lala didn't need to shut up. Then next, Katie, ugly gown, beautiful makeup, beautiful hair. Gina,
The hair
no,
wasn't that
shorts.
beautiful.
I think the haircut was nice. I think the haircut was nice. Okay, shorts. I feel like he's a spineless man. I don't even like Katie, but she's been carrying him forever.
She has.
And I just, this is the point where you should really be trying to save yourself. And it's so sad to see him not doing
Yeah,
that.
he
You
did.
know,
He really didn't even try. I agree.
your marriage, your home, and your business. No. Sheena, I think it's crazy that Rachel is like one of the principals of the scandal, and yet she was on for a part of the third reunion, and she's the one who did the TRO. Very interesting. You guys really talk about like her monologue about the fact that I think it's wild that Rachel said Tom was the only one there for her, but every time she got in conflict, Ariana and Sheena was there.
Yeah.
Staying in my home, sleeping with random people in my bed and on my countertop, helping you pay for an apartment, going to all your pageants, going to any dumb event you show up, you have and all this kind of stuff. And yet Tom is the one. At almost any time something serious happened in her life, Sheena and Ariana were there, and then Tom. But there are plenty of times where she was not around Tom. So I feel like that is wild to me. Um, Tom is a sick man. This man has said she said she's going to kill herself. This man has said we are a brand. This man has made dicks for her body dysmorphia. This this man has said we're not sleeping together, even though we are. But because she's not sleeping with me the way I want to, it's not enough. Had your mistress walk up to your essentially common law life and ask about your physical intimacy, there is no way. To me, my conspiracy is that it has been going on longer. They are still lying because I don't see how friends go from nothing, nothing, nothing to banging out in the car. Like, at least the kiss.
Well,
At least the kiss. What?
Kyra, now Kyra, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Demisio says that he's not going for it. He believes that Ariana is a bad actress and she's lying.
Okay. I mean,
Demisio?
Actress, I mean, she definitely was given Young and the Restless, but the bad version. If you ask me, I honestly feel like, even though again, I want to put this disclaimer out there, I do not agree with them having a affair. I do not agree
It
with that.
sounds like
But
you agree a
like,
It
little
sounds
bit.
like you
it
do.
does.
It sounds like you agree a little bit.
because I feel like Ariana is being a hypocrite, that means I agree with the affair.
Well,
It
okay.
sounds like you agree with the
Sorry.
affair.
It,
Okay, well, congratulations, happy birthday. But
Well, wait a
anyways,
minute. Hey, well, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold
Hold
on,
up,
hold on,
scroll
hold on.
up. That's my second
Now,
time
see,
I
this
went
is what we said.
on
Wait.
Let him finish. I
Now,
want to hear what he got to say.
well, I want him to finish too, but what I want you to be able to do, hold on, excuse me, what I want you to be able to do, Demisio, you've been on this platform many a times before. I want you to come up here and state your point clearly, accurately, succinctly, and without an ounce of shade. Can you do that? Because the
I
next time you
wasn't
throw
being.
shade at me, it's going to be a problem. Now, congratulations. Happy birthday.
You better give me together, Chase,
No, no, no,
honey.
no, 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 no. It's not
Yes.
about getting you together. It's about you finding somebody to play with. Please make your point.
Chase, I was being fun. I wasn't being
Me
serious with
too.
my
And
birthday.
I'm just saying, come on up
You
here and
see
make
us
your point.
laughing.
Okay, I just wanted to say that I
Mhm.
honestly still found all of that they had going on. Just it still was a lot. Like, yeah, she did do wrong, but like, goodness, did she kill anybody? Like, goodness, did she kidnap somebody and take them across the country? That's what I was trying to figure out. Like, it was just a
Mhm.
whole lot. Now I can understand Ariana being upset. That's completely understandable. She is the
Mhm.
wife. No matter how bad or whatever their relationship was, she deserves to be upset. But James and Lala was just doing the absolute most. It was overkill. Like, Lala, girl, like, sit the fuck down. Like, damn, was you fucking Tom? Like, that's what I was like. At this point, was you fucking him? Because that's what it seemed like to me. Like, girl, you more mad than Ariana is. Like, you was fucking a whole married man, and the only reason you not with him no more is because of everything came out in that article and everything went to shits. So let's be clear. Like, she just was doing a whole fucking lot. I was starting to think that she was married to him and not Ariana. It was just too much for me.
so
I
what
So,
don't
do
what
know.
is
we
They
Ariana
disagree
doing to being a
on?
bad actress?
Yeah.
No, I was just saying that it just was just a lot. Like, girl, okay, we get it. You're mad, but
Oh,
like I
okay.
said,
I
doing
might.
all of that, wishing the worst, was a
I.
lot.
She is lucky that words is all she got. When you are FaceTiming me with my partner, and then you want to finally come out FaceTiming with my partner while I'm in Florida for burying my grandmother. Come to find out that you were sleeping in my bed while I'm burying my grandmother. Come to find out the first time you guys say you slept together is when my dog of 18 years, who has been in my life most of the time, y'all sleeping together. You're buying necklaces in front of my face, dressing up. I'm thinking, where's this cool friend group? But you and her know that y'all are sleeping together and dressing up as a Halloween character, having us at concerts together. Sleep like I. They are lucky things are not burned.
I mean, like I said, Ariana is probably about the only one that deserves to be upset. Even though I do feel like she's a hypocrite, she's the only one that deserves to be upset. My problem was really with the other ones
But
doing
we
all
agree
of this
on that.
extra stuff.
I feel like the only other person who maybe is the next to be upset is Sheena because she was friends with all of them and telling Rachel, we care about you. We love you. I heard this. Is this true? What's going on? And then you like the girl's face. Tom does the same thing. So the only person I think who could have had said more was Sheena. I do not get James and Lala to the extent at which they went on. Because
Okay,
Tom
so do
was
you think
writing.
Sheena punched her?
I
No.
mean, I would
Absolutely.
be upset if she did it, but I'm gonna say no. I would be upset if she did it, but I'm gonna say no.
Absolutely. She slapped
Punch
that,
the
that
shit
lady.
out of her.
I do too. I
Y'all,
think.
all right, listen, I want to thank you guys for coming in and being
Can
so willing to give both of your
can I
points
say
of
one more
view.
thing?
Demisio,
Can
yes,
I
you
ask one
can.
more
I'm going to
thing?
let you, well, hold on one moment. Kyra, I'm going to let you down. I want to
Mhm.
thank you for calling. We got a couple of people waiting out the door. Demisio, I'm going to let you get your final thought in. We're going to go ahead and get our other guest in, and then we're going to go ahead and bid you adieu for the
All
evening.
right.
Thank you, Kyra.
Thank
And
you.
thank you seriously.
Bye,
Thank you.
Kyra.
Okay,
Okay,
Demisio.
I want to ask y'all, did any of y'all notice that James Kennedy never denied sexually assaulting that person?
Huh?
Man, let me let his ass down because I don't know what the
Yes,
hell
he
going
did
on.
deny. He said he didn't slap that lady on her butt. I don't
I'm
know if it's
trying
true
to.
or not, but he
Oh,
said
you were
that.
referring to
Oh,
in at the DJ gig that at the gig that at the hotel. Is that what you're referring
Yes.
to? Okay,
Yes.
I didn't notice that.
that had
So
came
did
out.
he?
I think Tom mentioned that on the on
Tom mentioned it part two.
DJ James
Okay.
Kennedy. He probably did do it.
He
Like,
did it.
yeah, the way he acted and poo poo
He did
head.
it.
Chase was ready to get me down, honey.
Oh,
He
because I
said
didn't know
that.
what you was talking. We had to clarify. But one thing about it, you're not going to get us canceled to be still. What the hell going on? But yes, that was brought up on the side. Oh hell no! I don't know what the hell you got us up here doing, but you better go. No,
All
but
right, y'all. That's it.
no, that wasn't the
Thank you,
question. Did
Demetrio.
you guys agree?
Huh?
You guys thought he did it?
Oh,
Hell yeah, he did it.
Yeah, I think he did it.
Allegedly.
100%.
allegedly.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Allegedly, but
Allegedly, I don't know what the hell y'all talking about. All right, let me let you down.
All
All right,
right.
thank you, Demetrio, for coming up. We
Thanks,
appreciate it.
Demetrio.
All right. Hey Cohen, how are you? Thank you for calling in.
Hey Chase, how are you?
Well, I'm not the only one up here.
Yeah, oh
Yeah, you.
sorry about that. Sorry. Hey, hi good evening everyone. How are y'all?
Hey, Cohen.
Hello. How are you?
Sorry. Um I haven't watched the show in its inception, but I've watched throughout pretty much. And I have to agree with you, Chase. I'm not on Ariana's team because I agree with you the same way you got him is the same way that you'll lose him overall.
No, I
And
don't feel
that's
bad for Cohen, and I
yeah,
don't.
that's how I've been feeling. And cheating is a big thing for me
Hmm.
anyway, and she did that, and I know she was younger when she did that, but still you did it. And then this man, you've been with him and you've known him this long, and you didn't have any idea that he had any thoughts of cheating or was capable of that. And on top of that, she had that girl too close with her man anyway. Like they were always going out and like doing things like as like a what is it? What do they call it? Like right when some like third wheeling. She was third wheeling them a lot, and I'm just like, you didn't think that something was going on, and that's on her too. But I also have to agree with you too, Chase, about how Lala and James were like doing the most, and I hated it, and it really triggered me when he said that the affair was incestuous. That really bothered me when he used
Don't
that.
let that bother you. Don't let James Kennedy get under your skin.
No, but I don't like when people say stuff like that because I get that what you're trying to say, but you can't just put words out there like that.
Yeah. I agree.
So
They're dangerous. Is he the dangerous one that really is on the panel? Is he who's more dangerous, Sandoval or Kennedy?
I think everyone on this show is kind of dangerous, or at
All
least
of
has
them.
dangerous tendencies. Because the way that they're literally trying to get on Raquel for something when they've all
That
done
they've
something
all
and
done.
they didn't want to admit to it, and they wanted to like glaze over it, but at the same time, y'all all have done stuff. So
Yeah, as I said at the very beginning, for those of you guys who are just now tuning in, I said at the very beginning that I don't feel bad for Ariana when it comes to the actual affair. You can talk about all of the circumstances surrounding the affair, but they have all had affairs, and when you boil it down, at the end of the day, they all cheated. Now, I do feel like it's a girl code betrayal and a friendship betrayal, and that is something that you definitely should get on top of Rachel for. She should definitely be held accountable and her feet to the fire. But the level of vitriol from certain cast members like Lauren, like James. It just did not, and I'm kind of glad that Shayna did shut her mouth because she's the reason why we have a show because she slept with Brandy Glanville's man. So listen, I certain things is what it is at the end of the day, and I can't really feel bad for it. And you knew what you got yourself into, and I know that we said earlier that they were a brand and they built a life together, but you built your life on a lie. The only thing for you that is lucky is that you're able to monetize the fallout from it because a lot of people aren't able to do that. A lot of people in your situation, they have to pick themselves up by their bootstraps and move on with their life and figure it out. Thankfully for you, you have a platform and thousands of dollars coming in the door, but you built your life on a lie, and so for that, I can't feel bad. I'm sorry, say it again, Antonio.
And a Glamour magazine cover.
Was it glamorous?
Not really.
No.
He got a cute new boot on there, Asian something. It looked like he do karate or something. He look good. I like it.
Sammy, get the fuck out.
Okay.
No,
Wow. With that, Cohen, thank you for calling.
Oh wait,
Okay?
Chase. One more thing, though, while you're on the deals, though, I'm gonna need them to slow down with these deals because I feel like it's very excessive. When we've seen other scandals on Bravo way worse than this, I just don't see what the uproar is about.
Yeah.
They have chosen sometimes when it's your time, it's your time. It's her time. Let her get her bag. I'm not mad at it. I just don't want to see her on my TV no more. That's that. All right, Cohen.
Thank you, Cohen.
Oh, good night, Cohen. I'm sorry. We got a couple more out the door. Sean S. Sean S.
Hello, everyone.
Right. Turn the TV down.
My TV not on.
What's the echo?
I don't know what's going on. Oh,
It's all right.
can you hear me good?
We sure can. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll be short and sweet. I didn't watch the episode because I didn't like the way everybody was coming at him. I don't like the gang up thing. But if I was them, I would have stood 10 toes down. If I was Racqel and Tom, I would have stood 10 toes down and said, I did it and we all did it. Get over it. Lala and James wouldn't have been able to come at me about nothing. And Ariana had to take some responsibility for this because of the relationship y'all had. Y'all was living separate lives. You didn't want to have sex with him. Who want to have sex 4 times a year? Come on now. What you think was going to happen? And it's take responsibility. And you threatening to unalive yourself. That's not a good thing. He wanted to leave. You didn't want him to leave. Take responsibility in that because everybody keeps saying, well, he should have left. He should have left. She could have left as well. That's all I got.
I love how I do that. Sean, I'm going to just say this. I don't necessarily agree, but this is what we are for. Thank you for calling in.
And another thing, wait a minute. Lala and Ariana slept together in front of Tom's face and wouldn't let him join in. So you're not innocent. That's why the throuple thing came up. Okay.
I don't necessarily agree that oh Lord, was one part that she said about the 4 sex 4 times a year. If you don't want to be with me and I ain't giving you none but 4 times a year, leave. With that being said, who is this? Pound Town just left Pound Town.
I'm out of state. Not a state. Hey y'all. So I'm gonna be quick. I think I gotta go. First of all, really good show. You guys talked about doing this show a couple of episodes back, and I'm glad it turned out to be a success. Really good on everybody's part. The dialogue was good, but I will say this. I somewhat agree with Demisio. You all can jump on me, do what you gotta do, whatever. But I understood what he was saying. Maybe not articulated properly in some ways. But I understood what he was saying. And what I will say is, to this whole thing, karma just doesn't really have, a way of, it doesn't have a pathway. It doesn't have a time frame. It just comes back. And so as someone who has experienced something similar to this, I don't feel bad for that lady. I don't feel bad for none of them, especially because the whole cast are just, it's giving Coco Dorm. If you're part of the gay culture, everybody in Coco Dorm slept with each other. Like, literally, this whole cast is disgusting at this point. I don't watch the show like that, but I have, did a little research, and I'll just say that everybody is gonna get out of this situation just fine. Even Rachel, whatever her name is, she's gonna be just fine. Because and like I think Chase said it, they're not gonna be together. That's not gonna work out at all. And it never does. And I think Ariana is the proof of it. She is. But yeah, and I will say, Antonio, you made me, the way you described the way he was getting pounded, child, you made me want to get some of that too. I'm like, well, damn,
you want some of that?
I will know. I don't.
What he reading like Ty reading an erotic novel?
But that's all I got. Really good show, and y'all have a good night.
Thank
you.
you.
All right, y'all.
Bye.
All right, that was the boss. We went a little overtime, but we had so many calls and so many opinions. We want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. I also want to say, just very briefly, that I want to thank Antonio and Sammy for joining us on Thursday night. This was something that we came up with. We pitched it to the network. We did executive producers and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And it's our first production that we got on the air. And so I'm just really proud of everyone. Thank you in the group chat for tuning in. Are we going to recap Miami? Miami what? Miami
The,
Heat.
the Real Housewives.
Jessica's kind of new to the channel, but yes, we do have a Real Housewives of Miami recap. We did seasons 4 and 5, so you can catch those, and I'm sure we'll do 6 when they come back on the air. But nonetheless, I want to thank Jessica. I want to thank Classy Lady Claudia. I want to thank Sean S. I want to thank Art World, Jasmine, Asia,
Ira, Denise,
Demisio, Kyra,
Classy.
Cohen, Classy Lady, everyone for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. I want to thank you guys for rocking with us on a Thursday night. Again, Antonio and Sammy, thank you. Couldn't have done this without you. You guys were low key, high key, the best parts of the night for me. And who's, oh no, I missed. No, Sask, you might have missed it, but baby, one thing about it, you can always hit that replay button. Make sure that you guys hit the replay button. Go in the comments to let us know how you feel. We weren't able to get all 3 parts done in one show, but we did our best. So if there's anything that we missed that you want to talk about, go in those comments and let us know. Anything you guys want to say before we get out of here tonight?
No, thank you, everybody. It was fun.
Well, all right. Well, with that being said,
I'm going to say earlier when Raquel was getting ready to come out and Andy was telling Schwartz he was going to scoot down, and Ariana said, no, he's not. And there was no backlash from Andy regarding that. Teresa, get Jen on the phone and file you a claim. That's all I'm
baby, Nitty might well go on, reopen that case. If she ain't never come back, I would say, see Exhibit A. He not cussing none of them out. He cussing with them, not at them. Catch. All right. With that being said, we're gonna go ahead and bid you adieu. I hope I pressed the right screen. I never do. We're gonna figure it out.